Hey everybody, guess what time it is? Yes, that's right. It is Radio is Magic time here on Marquette Radio. And we have an exciting show here today for you with our first ever edition of My Little Breakdown. That's right, the show where we go and break down our favorite episodes. The two today, we're going to start off with the great old pilot episodes that brought us all into this crazy awesome world that is ponies. But before that, let's hear that awesome theme jingle by good old Malamane, and yeah, we'll kick things off right this time around, alright? I am DJ Smith here on Radio is Magic, and let's get this show on the roll. And welcome back. Here we go. Let's get things going here. With me today, I have two co-hosts, unlike the one yesterday. Pooh, kid, thank you for coming, and I can't wait to have you again next week. But I'm looking forward to having two people to talk to today. But, I know I talk too much. Let's give these two here a chance to speak for themselves. Rainbow, if you still want to be called that, would you mind going first there, buddy? Hello? Have I lost you? Yep, I may have lost him. Oh, here? Oh, okay.
You can hear me. I'm good.
All right. Thought I lost someone again. I couldn't imagine losing another co-host. I mean, it made me worried there for a second, I have to admit.
Yeah, you used to run on one leg. So, this is Rainbow Shadow. I just changed my name to Blossomforth on the forums, so if anybody doesn't recognize me, that's me there in the shout box.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be breaking down the first two episodes of My Little Pony today, and I, in fact, have not talked to Keeper of the Well hardly at all, so this will be an interesting exchange, I think, and hopefully we can get to know each other in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, well, that should be no problem at all, because what can I say? I can pick some good co-hosts, and, Keeper, stop being so silent there, man. Let's hear a word or two from you.
Hello, I'm Keeper of Well. Keeper is fine. And I have to say, Blossom, that your new name and your new avatar picture are super awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Every time I go to your profile, I get a smile on my face.
Oh, shucks.
I get one too, buddy.
All right, let's get this thing rolling here. So, of course, the obvious thing we're going to talk about today is the first two episodes. The shows that started it all. I mean, right off the bat, I have to ask, what are your first impressions of the episodes? I mean, when did you actually, when did you, where did you first see them?
Oh, I first saw them probably 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was in December, so the show was quite a ways gone. Jeez. But no, the first time I saw it, I watched it by myself on YouTube on my computer in a dark room where nobody could see or hear.
Mm-hmm.
And so that sort of colored the whole experience, but still I still enjoyed it. I still I didn't like I said before, it took me probably 2 or 3 weeks before I could actually play the main theme with the volume unmuted. But I eventually just gave up and I was like, you know what, I'm a brony.
Mm-hmm.
I'll live with it. But no, I thought it was. I'll be honest, and I'll get into this a little more later. But I thought it was kind of contrived. The first 2 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. But
Well, why do you say that, man?
well, it's I feel like the show didn't find its footing right away. I think they're fantastic episodes, and it's a great introduction to the series. But I think unfortunately, it drives some people away. There's certain parts of it that I'd like to get into a little more in depth later that I felt like were a little contrived, and I think brought a lot of rolled eyes from people who aren't necessarily fans of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I would almost rather introduce somebody to the show with a different episode than the first two. But,
Well, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, the first show I was shown was winter, not the winter wrap up. It was the winter summer. No, the winter summer. It's Heartwarming Eve. That's what it was, or is it Hearthwarming Eve? I am such a horrible brony. I should know this by
it's
heart by
Hearth.
now. Hearth?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, Hearth.
Yeah.
But a lot of people feel that way about the first two episodes.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of like brownie meme base, you'll have things saying, I can only show one episode to a friend to try to get him into the show. Which episode should I show him? And then in the comments, you see a whole bunch of people saying, well, not the first two episodes for sure.
Which is a shame because that's what started it all. That's where we learned about how to giggle at the ghosties, or how you should totally put no hot sauce on cupcakes. I mean,
I started with the first two episodes.
okay, which I think you're in that case might be the one to ask here. Then, what did you think when you first saw the episodes?
I first saw the episodes during the break between season 1 and season 2,
Mm-hmm.
and saw the first and second episode right away, and then I waited a day or two and saw the third episode, and then saw the fourth episode, and then I waited almost a month, and I watched the fifth episode, and after that I just kept watching it all day.
Because that's where you got the hook and sinker,
Yeah.
right? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I kept going back, but something was like, oh, those ponies, might as well watch it, nothing else to do, and then finally it hooked me, and I was like, yeah, this is amazing.
I swear that's how it always begins. It's okay. I'm just gonna stick my little toe in, just to test the waters, and it's like it's not that bad. I mean, it's not boiling hot or ultra cool, but I'm comfortable. And next thing you know it, you're diving off to the deep end, and you can't take it anymore. You have to go head on first into this horrible example into the world of bronies. But I actually asked both of you, for those who are unaware out there, well, to bring in a few things to talk about the show, I guess. There's a lot goes on in there that they definitely used a lot more of throughout the rest of the series, and other things that kind of dropped. Looking at you giant annoying serpent, you. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think the fandom has called him, Magnet. Yeah. I know a few bronies who don't know who he is by that name.
I didn't remember. I had to look it up a while ago for a friend of mine.
That voice. No.
Mustache.
Oh, stop it. I will mute you on the air as we speak.
that is one of the biggest scenes for me that makes me not want to show anybody, because it's like the show's trying to be, I don't know, it's like the show's just trying to get itself in trouble. I mean, he's so, I'm sorry, love and tolerance all the way, but he's so annoying. And it's, it flies in the face of logic. They could have, Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash could easily have just carried them over the river. And the Rarity's solution to the problem was terrible. He looked awful, I thought.
Well, just tell you something about his fashion sense. I mean, come on, the guy has a mullet.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of looks like one, but yeah.
So I'm the one who likes Steve Magnet.
I guess so. But that's at least that's one of my nitpicks about the two episodes. But what about you now? Let's Shadow. What do you got?
What do I got? What about what?
I don't know. I mean, like I asked you, at least both of you, to come in with a few things to talk about. Otherwise, this is going to be one long show.
It's going to be long anyway. Well, I could. I guess I could.
Yes.
I'll say this. I actually just rewatched the episode today, and my mind was blown by how many background ponies there are in the first two episodes.
Yeah.
That I didn't notice the first time or two or three through, just because I guess I hadn't spent enough time on the forums. But in the first probably 30 seconds, you see Lyra. They mentioned Moon Dancer, but I don't think she ever actually shows up. But then, especially in the crowd at the end, you see Bon Bon, Raindrops, Derpy. I mean, there's a ton of ponies that fortunately they kept in with the rest of the show, and it was just cool to see it again and see how many ponies we missed the first time.
Yeah, I know there's one scene you actually see all of the cutie mark crusaders, huddled together in fear. I mean, talk about some foreshadowing.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I missed that. I always miss the cutie mark crusaders huddling in fear. I've seen it so many times, and I've never seen it. I don't know if I'm just not looking or what.
You've never seen it before?
I haven't seen them huddling in fear. Like when I watch the episode, I don't catch it for some reason. I blink or something. I don't know.
It could be. I mean, it's only there for a few seconds, but yeah, they're all there. Just Sweetie Belle, Apple Bloom, and Scootaloo all right there.
Tell me you know who the cutie mark crusaders are, GJ.
I don't know what went wrong. Hey, look at that. Let's do a song while I check up on my ponies. Okay, I think to get things a bit more livened up here, let's start off with a good old wooden toaster. Let's see what I got here in the good old playlist of awesomeness. Let's go with Lewis the Lab Rat. What do you guys think?
Good enough.
Works for me.
Good.
Yeah, let's go with Lewis, and yeah, let's wrap it up with a nice one from Mogul Dash. I like his stuff. Quest. Let's try that out. So, you're listening to Radio's Magic. I am DJ Smith. That is Shadow, and over there is Keeper of the Awesome. And yeah, we'll be back after these few tracks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I truly believe you need to go on this quest. I am a real dragon.
Oh yeah? Prove it. You are a dragon after all. Are these namby-pamby ponies your friends?
Yes, they are. And they're better friends than you could ever be.
And welcome back to Radio's Magic on today's show, My Little Breakdown, where we're breaking down the very first few episodes of My Little Pony. That's right, the first pilot and the follow-up, which we meet for the first and I think only time if you think about it there, Nightmare Moon. With me here, I of course am DJ Smith. With me here is the lovely Rainbow Shadow, who I...
I'm here.
Okay,
Sorry.
good. Yeah, heck, we have a little mini heart attacks here, man, and as well as Keeper.
Hello.
Now, wait, before I go on here, I really should ask there, Keeper. Do you want to be known as Keeper? Do you want to be known as Keeps? Keepsake? Do you have a name I should call you on here? That was kind of rude of me.
If you're gonna shorten my name, I like Keeper.
Keeper?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very mysterious.
You actually knew what it meant. It's not actually mysterious at all.
Oh? All right. In that case, let's move right along here. Got to get rid of this dead air. Got to have more lively air about this wonderful, 2 episodes. Now, during the break, Keeper, you brought up a thing about, their cutie marks. Could you care to explain a bit more about that?
Well, the artist designed each main 6 as cutie marks for a reason. and I stumbled upon a Deviant art uh, picture
Hmm.
that helped to explain what Twilight's cutie mark meant. And for those of y'all unaware of the significance of 42, in Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide, it's the meaning to life. It's the meaning to life, the universe, and everything.
Well, it's not the meaning; it's the answer, I guess.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
answer, that's correct. And so if you count up all of Twilight Sparkle's little points on her stars, which she has 7 of, and in each star she has 6 points, that will equal 42. And so this guy makes the point that if 42 is the answer to life, and the Twilight's cutie mark is 42 or represents 42, then maybe the writers or the artists are trying to say that the answer to the universe is friendship. And
Huh.
I was like, I'm wondering if the artists put this much thought into all of the cutie marks. Because rewatching the episode, you notice that you have the rule of threes going on. Applejack has 3 apples, Rarity 3 gems, Pinkie Pie 3 balloons, Fluttershy 3 butterflies, and then Rainbow Dash has a cloud and lightning bolt, which some people on the internet have kind of shown as the symbol of the gods because it's kind of similar to Hercules' medal
Hmm.
in the old Disney show.
Okay, okay, now that's a bit of a stretch there, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
that one's a stretch, but
Because even
like,
it's gonna be made here. Even like the Disney cartoon really stretched out that myth of Hercules. But I'll let you go.
yeah,
Keep going. Keep going.
I mean, it's just kind of interesting to find all these illusions in a show that's supposed to be for kids. And that's one of the reasons why we all love it so much is because it references the adult material, not adult material, but older audiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
That's I don't if anybody hasn't looked at that image yet. They also mentioned that during the running of the leaves, Twilight wears the number 42. It's like that's a little. I think that's a little too much to just be a coincidence.
well, it can also show that the artists are a bit of a couple of nerds themselves. So I guess you can really.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense, especially considering in the first episodes of the second season, where we have that entire ending, which is just one big allusion to the Star Wars ending from A New Hope. I mean,
Best ending.
yeah, I mean, it was really cool, but we could talk about that at a different, episode. But this one, though, okay. I know this is one thing for me that I really caught my interest is just really hearing the difference in music of the show. I mean, you can really like sense this different air that old awesome Daniel was going with the show. Like, there's this one particular shot I'm thinking of where I think it was in like when Twilight was still in Canterlot. She's running from her. I think either it was like her observatory to back to her home, which is just also another library. I swear that Mare lives with books, 24/7.
She does.
Well, yeah. No, that was dumb.
Literally lives in a library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounded a lot more smart in my head.
I should have just kept my mouth shut.
No, you call me on it again. Yeah, on it. But I mean, there's just like that tune. Like you don't hear that kind of style of music anywhere else in the entire series. And I've looked because I'm paranoid like that, and I was just. But it's really unique. I really can't describe it. It sounds a bit too much like what's the word? Like one of the old cartoons I remember from my childhood. It wasn't really well thought out music or really well composed. It was just okay. Let's put some filler music in, which I think is why maybe it felt so off to me because earlier on, later on in the series, every song, every little tone we hear has so much life to it. It has so much energy. And it's just seeing where this music went and kind of where it started. It's just fascinating for me. It kind of felt like that. Oh, we're just gonna throw a few songs in here and see if it sticks. Oh wait, it actually did. Let's keep it going.
Are you saying that it felt forced the first episode, and then it feels natural later, or?
Kind of, yeah. At least, especially in that very first pilot episode.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I believe makes it feel contrived. It's like they, in a way, the pilot episode is what establishes whether or not whoever is funding it is going to fund it, and they had to design it in a way that met traditional standards of cartoons, and I think they did a really good job of making it work anyway. And still sort of preserving the show, but that's definitely one of the reasons that I felt that especially the first episode, was very contrived.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I totally lost my train of thought there.
Did I put you to sleep, Granny?
No, I'm not that old.
I gotta say, I laughed pretty hard whenever they introduced Granny again. Made me think of you. I just imagine you're sitting in the studio, bent over in your rocking chair.
Rocking chair. Oh, listen here, Sonny. Oh, that was bad. Next
The,
topics, please.
the Applejack scene. Do you think
Ooh.
we're ever going to see like the entire Applejack family again?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, all those background ponies could have appeared. We don't know how many times in other scenes because they're pretty much all kind of. Let's be honest here, cookie cutter. Okay, swap out the color palettes, swap out the hairstyle.
That's
I mean,
true.
They are a family.
Yeah. But then
We
again,
did see the old uncle.
yeah, that's right. You mean you're talking about apple strudel, right? Did I lose you? I may have just lost them. Okay. Well, making sure that my computer is not broken. I'm gonna.
I think
No, it's not. It's not you. I can't hear him either.
Oh, okay.
I can barely hear. I can barely hear you.
Okay, that's not a good sign. Okay, Keeper, can you go work on that? In the meantime, Rainbow, you had something you wanted to talk about there. I can't remember what. Can you fill me in again, man?
Yeah, I wanted to just make a quick reference to Adventure Time. Just
Really?
because I think it's a perfect example of what I kind of want to talk about. And I know a lot of people don't like Adventure Time, and a lot of people do, but just hear me out. Adventure Time is a show that is really violent in how it handles its viewers. It's so tremendously inconsistent. Where one moment they're running from something huge and epic, there's this great big battle going on, and all of a sudden everything slows down and stops, and there's just this really tender moment between Jake and Finn, and like in the Knife Storm episode, whenever they're sharing chocolates in the treehouse, and it's just like so calm and peaceful, and it's like such this tender moment, and then they go right back into like imaginary rocket launchers and RPGs, and it doesn't feel forced at all. And that's what I love about Adventure Time. And I feel like, to a certain extent, My Little Pony captures that too. The best example is at the very end of the second episode when Luna is revealed and she and Celestia meet again. And in the midst of all this, it's kind of corny, cheesy friendship, magic, and the Pinkie Pie being the comic relief. But there's just this really tender moment where it's like two sisters have been separated for 1,000 years, and they come and meet again, and Luna has this beautiful moment of redemption. And they play it off so well, it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel weird. And I really appreciate that about this show, that they're not afraid to do something that is a little outside of what you would normally do in a situation like that. I mean, you'd think normally there wouldn't even be a touching moment, it would just be something really half-baked, a lot of comic relief, and then they just move on and get back to the mindless drivel. And they just don't do that, and I like that.
So you're talking about how like when they learn lessons, they actually learn the lessons. They don't have to be repeated or what have you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing I really love about the show too. But to kind of take a tangent right there for a second, let's talk for a moment about the fact that Luna, or Nightmare Moon, depending on how you see her in that state. What do you think she did up there for all those years? I mean,
Well, it said she was actually banished in the moon, not on the moon.
mhm.
So I think her spirit just or the evil spirit just kind of got pushed inside the moon and became
The moon.
nothingness for a while. Yeah, it literally became the moon. I think she was actually walking around on the moon.
Well, see, when you see something like that, I think, an evil possessed moon, I think of like the moon in Majora's Mask, 3 days, 3 days. It's going to hit in 3 days, man. I mean, I don't think really could possess a giant rock in the sky. I mean, at least I would think she would have to have been doing something, yes, maybe plotting or, cursing her sister for eons. But, I mean, you can only imagine she did something.
Maybe whatever Discord did in the statue for however long he was in there.
Well, well, come on, that's an easy one with Discord. He probably, begged for someone to go and scratch his nose, but we digress.
I kind of liken it to the original Superman movie, where they just imprison people in panes of glass. And they float through space, and they just, rage for years.
Rage. Oh, and then get really cranky and come out and wreck up the place with really bad dialogue. Kneel before Zod, or in this case, kneel before Nightmare Moon. Yeah.
I love those movies.
Amen, amen. Which one thing I'm really curious about, is what would happen if it was the other way around? Like, let's say, Celestia got stuck in, let's say, the sun, which would be kind of unfortunate. I mean, at least if you think, at least on the moon it's nice and cool. You don't, burn to a crisp in a burning fireball. But, how can you imagine, like, Equestria as we know it today would be if, Nightmare Moon won? Actually, what would it be like the equivalent of Nightmare Moon for Princess Celestia? Like, Fireball the Scary?
I don't. You mean like if Luna was good natured?
Exactly. Yeah, like if Luna was a good natured one and Princess Celestia was the one that had darkness in her heart, or
that needs to be made. That would be a great alt universe.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Soul or something. What's
Solar.
What's Soltreon or something? Is that a leader's name that begins with an S? In Arabia?
I wouldn't know.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I'm reaching for lists. It would have to be Soul or something, though, wouldn't it?
Solar Flaria?
Solar Sorceress.
Ooh, I like that. I mean, at least yours doesn't sound like mine, which kind of sounds a bit like a Pokemon name.
Oh man, let's not start with Pokemon.
I could always talk about Ponymon, but this is a show about the episodes. I mean, I can just imagine that though. Like
Celestia, the Raging Inferno.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
That'd be pretty interesting, though. I mean,
Mhm.
I wonder if Luna would still keep it completely night, or maybe more darker. Not darker as in the atmosphere, but literally like light and shadows and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like more like Twilight, not the pony,
Yeah.
but the actual time.
It's really hard to talk about stuff when there's a pony named after everything.
Whatever do you mean? There's nothing out there that's named after like let's say an apple. Like shucks. Or let's say something that's rare. Bummer. At least we can talk about flowers blooming. Oh, there's apple bloom.
Oh well.
Ooh, Scootaloo. There's nothing out there, at least as far as I am aware of, that we can talk about that doesn't have the word Scootaloo. Unless you're trying to, say Scootaloo along there.
No, that's Skip to my Lou, not Scootaloo.
Okay. Ooh,
Yeah, you may be right. A quick Google search here is revealing nothing non-pony related.
other than, a good name for a chicken.
That was the first that came to my mind when you said Scootaloo was chicken.
Which sadly there's none of in the first episodes.
Yeah.
At least we would hope they would at least know our brony love kind of feeding back into the past. I mean, they had Derpy there on the side for us. Yeah, actually, speaking of Derpy, we gotta at least talk about that for sure. But before we do that, let's take another chance for a break here. It's now been a half an hour on the show. We got another half an hour away before we start taking suggestions and topic ideas from our lovely awesome audience out there. And until then, let's throw on some more tracks. I'm gonna try to find one let's go with Nightmare Night. By which artist? Nightmare Night by Wooden Toaster. Okay, I like that one. And let's try another one by Nightmare Night. Let's go with
Well, I hope you guys like Wooden Toaster.
they better. We also got that Son of Mitch. So let's go with those two. Get some Nightmare Night in there. Seeing as we're talking about her reign, while Celestia was stuck up in a fireball. What did you call her? The great solar sorceress?
I saw a good one called, I think, Catalyst Sun in the shout box, someone said.
What did they say?
Catalyst Sun.
Huh.
Well, he said Catalyst Sun, lol, 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 lol.
Thanks for the direct quote.
There it is, yeah.
All right.
So during the break, just imagine Celestia trapped on the sun being burned alive for 1,000 years.
Ooh, she'll be really cranky. Can't imagine what she would do to stop the main six from getting to her. Because, at least with Luna, she had kind of passive matters, being all tricksy and dark. But if you ticked off a fiery princess, I can imagine this, burn down the Everfree Forest, turn the Serpent River into a river of lava. I mean, not exactly kid-friendly, but...
Damage everywhere.
Let's burn everything down to the ground. That makes good family television. All right, here's Nightmare Night by Wooden Toaster and Mick, and we're going to follow up with another song called Nightmare Night by That Son of a Mitch. So enjoy this. Listen to Radio is Magic. I am your central host here, DJ Smith, talking with my good buddies, Shadow and Keeper of. Keeper of what? Well, it's up to you. It can be Keeper of Bacon, Mayonnaise, you get the idea. Let's get on to these tracks, and we'll be back after this.
Now get your goodies and fill up all your bags and go and leave a candy offering for that big old hag. You're running and pray above that she's not coming back to come and take away your soul and eat you up for a snack. So run away and go hide. Just keep your head out of sight. The darkness is rising again, cause this is Nightmare Night. Living in the past, so you won't last without the proper care. Royal farewell and an anemic spell. You won't have long to prepare.
And welcome back to Radio's Magic. I have to say, I've been loving all the different names for the evil Celestia out there. But before that, don't forget, you're listening to DJ Smith here with my lovely, awesome co-hosts of all time, Shadow and Keeper.
Hello.
Co-host of all time. That's what I am.
Yes, you're one of the to be fair, I do have a lot of co-hosts, so I should say, yeah, you're all awesome. But for today, you are the awesome co-hosts of all time.
Yay.
Yay.
My new title.
Mm-hmm. That's, that's what I'm here for. Giving out titles that mean nothing. It's kind of like Who's Line.
Pretty much.
It means something to me.
All right. So before we start off this next segment, it's news time. Keeper, you are our daily reporter for the day. So, care to start us off right here with Les News?
All right. First up, we have the Dennis Daniels Show, which is a podcast talk show. It will be hosting a contest called Letters to Celestia. Any pony writes a letter to Princess Celestia about a life lesson of friendship that they've learned, and the best one will be picked for Nicole Oliver, or better known as Princess Celestia, to read on the show. You can head over to alltasteexplosions.com to find the rules for Letters to Celestia, and you'll also be able to download the podcast there when it is released.
So wait, like the voice of Celestia.
Yes, Nicole Oliver will read in the voice of Celestia your letter if it's the best.
Dear Princess Celestia, I learned your radio show is the most awesome choice in the world. Any rightful-minded pony should listen to Radio is Magic. We need to do that now. Okay, I gotta write a letter to write. Continue, man.
The other one I have is about BronyCon the documentary, which is a Kickstarter film backed by John Delancey, Tara Strong, Lauren Faust, and Michael Bakoff, and directed by Lauren Y. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's just had its 13th update. For those of you unaware, BronyCon documentary was a Kickstarter thing that was trying to raise $60,000, ended up making $300,000. And because of that excess film, they will now not only be filming, or they will also continue filming. Instead of just filming BronyCon, they'll also film Germany's Galacon and the UK's Buck Convention. So for everyone overseas, you'll have a chance to be on TV. And they're also planning on making a more in-depth Brony documentary that should be going into film festivals in 2013. It should be noted that the filmmakers here are portraying the community tastefully. They aren't adding any of the grim or dark stuff.
Which is probably a good thing. I mean, most of the news out there is about us, destroying the fabric, the fragile minds of, good, upstanding children in the world around. So we need more good, positive news, like the CNN thing. But
yes,
yeah. So is that all you have on your half?
That's all I have on my half.
All right, Shadow.
All right, it's time for my half. I'll be talking about the new MLP trading cards, which I was entirely unaware of until just now. So there's a company called Enterplay. They're making MLP trading cards. They are making a splash at BronyCon right now, including a specialty BronyCon exclusive promotional rarity card that will be sure to drive eBay bidders crazy. Right now, as of the writing of this, there was a $58 bid for this trading card, which I think is a little low. Really, I think that needs to be a bit higher. But it's also intended for release is a DJ Pone 3 and an Octavia card that is sure to be enjoyed by both Scratch and Toffee fans alike. And there's several other background pony cards in the set, and even cards for some of the villains. So interviews with the creators of the set have been posted on Equestria Daily with spoilers of the cards and other news. And even though the smaller card lots from Enterplay stores have sold out, you can still purchase full displays from Enterplay or smaller pre-orders on ToyWiz.com. So happy collecting, everybody.
So in short, no, shut up and take my money.
Trading cards aren't my thing.
Is it Octavia or Octavia? I mean,
I prefer Octavia. I think it sounds more
sounds more rich.
More rich.
Yeah.
I always called her Octavia only because Tavi sounds a bit more friendly to me. But hey, to each their own. All right, we have. Unless you have more to talk about there, man. We're okay. Good. Cool. On to the next bit. Pardon me. My mom, who also happens to be in the building that I do this radio show, is now coming to harass me and stare at me with a goofy grin. So, if we could, I can imagine you'd all say hi. Otherwise, let's get on to the next topic here. Actually, let's speak about parent figures here. Why don't we see Applejack's or Big Mac's parents in the very first episode?
Don't see them at all, actually.
No.
No, we don't. I'm pretty sure we see Applejack. Well, not in the first episode. No, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm talking about her parents. Like, My personal belief is that, I know a lot of people out there think they've gone to the great stable in the sky. I personally think, they're just out of town.
Out of town.
Maybe not. I mean, not living in the town. Out of town sounds like a vacation that's just been going on forever.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Maybe
thinking.
they work somewhere else. Maybe they're starting a new apple farm somewhere else that we haven't heard of.
Exactly. As I figure it, the Apple family seems to be like a really, lucrative operation going on there. Who's to say they're not starting another farm somewhere out in Phillipsburg or Manhattan?
I think they're in the funny farm.
The funny farm.
You look at how crazy Granny is. There's got to be some kind of issue, genetic going through that family.
What do you mean crazy? Granny is a perfectly sane, as there's great moments of her wearing a bee beard and licking a chalkboard. She's a perfectly sane pony. A bit behind, she's still young in heart. Her hip may be broken in several places, but you know what? She straggles on at a very snail-like pace.
Discord actually fixed her hip. So.
But would that go back afterwards?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You'd think.
Oh boy, I can't wait till we get to the Discord episode. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to wait on that one. We can't go to all the great episodes just yet. Well, because there's so many out there in the very short, not the very short time the show's been out, with the 2 seasons and all that. But, okay, here's one question I'm really curious about. Let's be all honest here. Being bronies, I'm assuming that all of you, like me, will cry their guts out at a few certain scenes. Like, did either of you cry at all during the pilot episodes? Or am I just the only bleeding heart here on air?
Shh, don't say anything.
I didn't cry on that episode, but it was very moving.
Yeah, I can't say that I cried during the pilot either. It was. I could
Really?
if I was in just the right mood. I guess I could have, but no, I didn't.
Shame. I mean, come on, I guess I am the only one here, but I'll admit, when I saw, it was actually during the scene you were talking about earlier, Shadow, when I saw good old Luna just being reunited with her sister after all that time and actually being happy to see her. I'll admit I teared up. I didn't start bawling my guts out like Pinkie Pie did, but I just thought it was really touching, and yeah.
It was tough. No, I wouldn't say that's weird. I'm just, I just didn't cry.
The first time I watched it, I did get chills. I got chills, but I didn't get that crying or almost crying feeling.
Well, thank you. Okay, that's a step up. I mean,
Yeah, I definitely had chills.
Yeah, well, I did get a lot of chills there too. Well, I mean, for me, I consider them to be two things in the opposite direction. Like, for example, I thought it was really cool during when Twilight finally kind of put all the pieces together of what her friends actually symbolize in terms of the elements of harmony and how, that spark, which it was just like, oh, I see what they did there. Friendship is magic. So her friendship, So I thought that was really cool, but still, I was seeing it happen. It was just like a real awesome reveal how they kind of all tied that in together.
The atmosphere that all that provides, like the spark that you're talking about, and the Luna scene, I don't think that can actually be appreciated as if you use the first 2 episodes to jump into the My Little Pony series. You don't really feel that much connection to it because later on, once you've seen all the episodes and you rewatch the first episode, I think that's more powerful than just watching the first episode, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with that. Absolutely. Because this is part of why I say it was contrived, because they had to convince you that every one of these characters embodied this element of friendship in one episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't
that's
really
hard to do
appreciate
for
it until you see the whole series.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting because, I don't know, I guess being more of the artsy-fartsy guy here in my hometown, I instantly got that in the first episode. I mean, even when I wasn't a brony, and after only seeing one episode before seeing those, it just immediately clicked in there. And I guess in hindsight, I'll be honest, I didn't really realize how much the show really meant is just at the beginning part. And though I'm seeing on the shop box, even there I'm a bit alone. That no one else really shared my pain, my my passion. Let's sigh. But one thing I would like to quickly bring up, just really like the elements of harmony itself. Like, I'll be honest, I'm really happy that they had like all that power in the first pilot, yet we don't really see them at all except for the bookends of each series. I mean, that I think is a really wise choice. Because if it kind of goes like all Sailor Moon, where they take out a baddie every episode using the elements of harmony, would I think really diminish the, I think the power behind that kind of writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it become like a G.I. Joe. Cobra always loses instantly.
Yeah, I think this is just, I watch way too much anime. At least I used to. I don't so much anymore. But I miss Gurren Lagann. If anybody hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it. But every episode becomes more epic. You watch it and you think there's no way it can get more epic, and the next episode does. And I think that could have been fun because Twilight is immensely powerful. She has so much magical potential. And Rainbow Dash is just so incredibly fast. There's so much they could do with that, but I understand they don't. It's more a slice of life show. It's not supposed to be a big adventure every episode.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, so we're moving close onto the second hour of the show here, which is when you, our dear listeners, if you're still out there, which I know you are because I see you talking about what we're talking about in the shop box, so the ball is now in your side of the court. It's time for you to send in questions in the shop box, different topic ideas for us to bring up. I'll have one of my co-hosts here keep a running tally, kind of scribe it down, so we'll try to go to each one as best we can. But yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your things, that you really noticed in the pilot episodes? Anything that we, missed that we need to bring up in this episode? Also, I wanted to put out another reminder there for the Grandy Flank contest that I've yet to put up a thread of, which I will do tonight. At the thread up of, to make a long story short, yesterday during Requestria, there was a lot of requests, for oddly enough, to see some Grandy Flank. So I said, okay, let's have I put out like our contest, have someone out there draw something of Granny showing off her what she's got. Keep it nice and family oriented. I know it's a bit hard, but I want nothing that would scare me if I opened up the link. But the best, they think more funny than actual. If you know what I mean. This is a family show. Don't forget. The best entry I'm planning to pitch in for 2 months of VIP, so that's for me to shoot for there, and also just for laughs and giggles. But in the meantime, we're gonna do another quick break to for you to all out there to collect your thoughts, and for me to get some more water in my system because it's really hot in this radio booth. You know what? You two. Name an artist off the top of your head that that we have for the show.
I have no idea what you have.
You should have done your research.
What research?
Every time I pick one, you'll say you'll got the request from him, but you'll haven't downloaded it.
Jackal-app.
I don't think. Don't you think? Never mind.
Do we have this day?
Living
This
Tombstone.
day, Aria?
We were actually on the way of getting Living Tombstone. I was in the process of downloading it this afternoon. I've not put it in the system yet. Give Granny a break. She's a very busy DJ.
Do we have this day, Aria?
Yes, we do on my iPod over here. Okay, that I can play. Let's play some of that. All right. I like the sound of that.
By the way, I just wanted to clarify that I consulted with Octavia in the shout box and confirmed that it is in fact Octavia, not Octavia.
Okay. You would suppose she would be the resident expert on that.
I suppose.
All right.
Take it for what it's worth.
I think, also to be fair, we can't go do a show about the first 2 episodes without at least playing a few songs from said episodes, right? So, what do you think?
At the Ghosties?
Giggle at the Ghosties. We have to have Giggle at the Ghosties.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
What do you mean, my gosh? That's like, like the Pinkie Pie anthem.
It's a good song, though. I like it.
Yeah, okay, you better, because otherwise you're on the wrong radio show.
Are you going to fire me because I don't like your music, Randy?
Yes.
Oh.
My taste in music is law.
I'm making the okay face right now.
Rage Comics. All right, before we waste more time avoiding the songs, don't forget, Radio is Magic. I am the most awesome DJ in the world, everyone's favorite Wisconsin boy, Granny Smith. This is, why don't you two introduce yourselves here during the break? Give us a cool tagline. Come on.
Keeper of the well.
There we go. Okay, Keeper of the Well and...
And Rainbow Shadow, I guess.
You know what? I'll take it. Hey, caramba.
You better take this, Granny.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what's going on.
You don't? Not sure what's going on? Okay. All right. I have the... Shucks, my iPod is being frozen, which is unfortunate, so I'll have to hold off on Giggle at the Ghosties. And maybe This Day Aria. We'll play them soon. I promise that. It's going to be a chance to work that stuff out.
That's what you get for buying Apple products.
Hey. It's Granny Smith here, man. I am the golden apple. The original golden apple. Yeah. So, I'm going to play another song on the shuffle, and if I get the iPod working, I'll throw this in right away. So, look forward to Giggle at the Ghosties and This Day Aria. Otherwise, let's start off here with... picking one at random. Let's go with a Radiac song. Chaos Arranged. That sounds cool. All right, so we start off here with Radiac's Chaos Arranged. After that, hopefully Giggle at the Ghosties and This Day Aria. You're listening to Radio is Magic. Talk to you after this.
When I was a little filly and the sun was going down.
Tell me she's not.
The darkness and the shadows, they would always make me frown.
She is.
I'd hide under my pillow from what I thought I saw. But Grammy Pie said that wasn't the way to deal with fears at all.
Then what is?
She said, Pinky, you gotta stand up tall. Learn to face your fears. You'll see that they can't hurt you. Just laugh to make them disappear. Ha, ha, ha. So giggle at the ghostly, guffaw at the grossly, crack up at the creepy, whoop it up with the weepy, chortle at the kooky, snortle at the spooky. And tell that victim scary face to take a hike and leave you alone. And if he thinks he can scare you, then he's got another thing coming. And the very idea of such a thing just makes you wanna laugh.
This day is going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. Every pony will gather round, see I look lovely in my gown. What they don't know is that I have fooled them all. This day was going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I dreamed since I was small. But instead of having cake with all my friends to celebrate my wedding bells, they may not ring for me at all. I could care less about the dress, I won't partake in any cake. Vows, well, I'll be lying when I say that through any kind of weather, I'll want us to be together. The truth is I don't care for him at all. No, I do not love the groom. In my heart there is no room, but I still want him to be all mine. Must escape before it's too late, find a way to save the day. Hope I'll be lying if I say I don't fear that I may lose him to one who wants to use him, not care for love and cherish him each day. For I also love the groom, all my thoughts he does consume. Oh, shining armor, I'll be there very soon. Finally, the moment has arrived for me to be one lucky bride. Oh, the wedding we won't make, he'll end up marrying a fake. Shining armor will be mine, all mine.
This day has been just perfect, the kind of day of which I've dreamed since I was small. Every pony I'll soon control, every stallion, mare, and foal. Who says a girl can really have it all?
And welcome back to Radio's Magic. The last few songs you heard there, well, let's be honest, how can you not know them by now, being a brony? The first one was, of course, Giggle at the Ghosties, followed up by This Day Aria, followed up by This Day Aria Reprise, because how can you have those two great songs not be played together? I mean, I think it's like, two slices to a sandwich. What do you say, guys?
Beautiful.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Favorite song.
yes. Oh. And by the way, Rainbow, you mentioned over the break that certain This Day Aria made you do what now?
Couldn't we just wait until we get to
No.
season 2?
Come on. What did it do?
Yeah, I cried like a little girl to
Yes!
the aria.
Show your inner heart.
Yeah, that was I teared up pretty good there.
Yeah, well, come on. It is a great song. Anyway, moving right along. I am DJ Smith, everyone's heard Wisconsin Brony. I'm here with my two lovely co-hosts today. There's, of course, Rainbow.
Rainbow Shadows here.
Woot. And...
Keeper of Well.
Sorry, what? Say that again? I didn't hear you, man.
Keeper of Well.
Say that again, a bit more passionate. Come on.
Keeper of Well.
There we go. Come on.
See, this isn't co-hosting. It's actually torture.
You signed up for it.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
It was a trick. It was a trap. Mess that up.
Exactly. It wasn't, Discord who's the ruler of chaos. It was Granny Smith.
She took the chaos pretty well, I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah. She just danced right along to the sound of chaos.
That's actually really sad now that you brought that up, that, Granny had her hips back. She was rocking out. And then they stopped Discord and Granny's back to being old. And
Ow, yeah.
Who were the real villains?
Yeah. Well, it makes you wonder. Well, they did take away Chocolate Rain, but... Chocolate Rain.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I did not want to be the one who did that.
Okay. We're getting way distracted here. We've noticed a few topics you want us to talk about during the break. Keeper wrote down a few. If you have any more, please send them our way. We have a good 45 minutes to talk about stuff. So first of all, what's the first thing we have there on your list, Keeps?
We have a choice of three. Color of Colors by Parathanax, Nightmare Moon's Murderous Attempt by RJ3, and When Will Spike Get Wings by Streamline Rush.
All right, Rainbow, any of those catch your fancy?
I didn't understand most of them.
All right, choose one at random and we'll talk about that. We'll take it up.
I'll go with Nightmare Moon. It has more to do with the first episode.
All right. So, do you want to at least hear our thoughts on how she almost pretty much tried to not really stop the ponies, but more so ended them altogether, right?
Well, RJ3 put murderous intent, so and I didn't really get that kind of feeling. I think she just wanted her just desserts. I think she was just trying to stop the ponies by making them not be able to use elements of harmony so that she can have a rayless night. I didn't really feel like she was going to try and kill any pony.
Well, whenever Twilight charged at her, she was horned down, ready to go. I thought that was a little. I was concerned for Twilight there for a minute. I'll say that much. I didn't know how that was going to turn out, but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past her. She's pretty evil.
Yeah, at least with this thing, the first thing she did to all of them was almost send them off a cliff. If that doesn't scream murderous intent.
Fair enough, that's true.
There was kind of also, if you think about the other things, could have hurt the poor ponies in certain ways, like the Manticore. He was a bit grumpy. If they, ticked off the poor little guy a bit more, I can only imagine how much they would be bucked up there.
Yeah.
All right. So she was clearly trying to murder them. I did not pick up on that.
Nope. That's what you have us here, man, to show you the truth behind this children's show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got in there?
I guess if Spike will ever get his wings. I don't think Spike's going to get wings. I think if he was, I think he'd be born with wings if he was going to have wings.
True. Not all dragons, at least I think, need to have wings.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Rainbow.
Oh, I was just agreeing.
Oh. Okay, I was going to say, look, what was it? What was the name of that episode? Where, Spike actually grows to the size of a normal dragon. He doesn't even have wings then either. Not all dragons need to be swooping and flying through the air, so I can actually find it, dragons without wings be a bit more terrifying. Because, well, they're not... Because I think, to make up for the fact they can't fly, they have to be a bit more, powerful strength-wise, so could, take down poor old Ponyville in one go.
Yeah.
I would rather have a wingless dragon any day.
All right.
No, I don't think Spike will ever get wings.
No?
No. Yeah, I don't
No,
think.
no,
Actually, I'm curious if growing up as a dragon requires him to give in to his greed and like his impulsions. If he's just going to be a baby forever, I don't know. I think that'd make a really awesome like fanfic with him having to choose between being a child forever and he wants to be with Rarity, but she's too old. And
Wait. Blinky Pie brought up a decent comment that Spike could just twirl his tail to fly, kind of like Tails in Sonic.
Yeah, he actually did that in the first episode. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did.
And,
My mind was just blown.
good job, Blinky Pie.
Yeah.
Keeping us straight. No, it's not what.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It also kind of opens my eyes to how Spike and his relations to Tails in so many ways. I mean, you have the young sidekick with the occasional high squeaky voice that tends to get captured, or at least gets stuck in sticky situations that Sonic or Twilight in this case has to get him out of.
Well, he did have that episode where he rescued Rarity, or tried to rescue Rarity.
Well, he kind of didn't. That was kind of sad because he really didn't do anything.
No, he tried.
He did.
No.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. One thing I'm really curious about, we in that that's actually getting ahead of myself here, but why not? In that episode where he does, the whole Diamond Dogs, and when he does try to save Rarity, he has that flashback to him, being that real buff dragon. I'm curious to know when he started to grow in the other episode, why he didn't become like that.
Well, he was just fantasizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least would expect, he would some form, kind of be like that.
Well, he didn't know what he was going to look like in the future, because didn't the Greed episode come after that episode?
It did, in fact.
So he didn't know what he would look like.
True.
So he imagined himself to be Prince Charming.
Yeah. Good point. Well, I know one thing.
Hey, Granny, are we trying to stick with the first two episodes? Because there's a couple questions here from later episodes.
Sure, why not? I mean, this is the pilot episode of our own here, so might as well might branch out a little bit. Why? What are they're asking out there?
It's been lost, cut off in the shout box, so I don't know who asked. So if it was you, repost it and let us know. But somebody asked if Rainbow Dash deserved the prank, quote unquote, that she received during the Ne'er-Do-Well episode.
You mean the kind of public humiliation?
Public humiliation.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
because that was a tough episode. I mean, there were a lot of emotions going around between the main six and that one.
Yeah. Well,
it's pretty, like, for a kid's show, that's actually pretty extreme too, to have like public humiliation on that level. But I'll be honest, Rainbow Dash is not one of my favorites of the main six. So seeing her finally realize that she needs to calm down and back off a little bit was kind of refreshing in my mind.
Yeah, I would agree with that. She didn't really have an episode that developed her very much until that point either, so that was good.
But that episode, developed her character-wise, or like a episode that actually showed off her personality?
Character-wise.
You mean that
her personality was pretty simple, pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause at least would try to make the argument that with like Sonic Rainboom, she did kind of grow a lot there, at least kind of having more confidence in herself. But then again, she already has enough confidence to begin with.
Oh yeah. By the way, that was Jose.
Okay, thank you, Jose. That was horrible. Jose, there we go.
Feels good to say it that way.
Yes, it does.
Clears your
Jose.
throat.
I actually know during the break, I actually got a Skype message from our dear old Pinkie Pie. She brought up in later episodes, we learned that ponies are made of much sturdier stuff than one can guess, like Rainbow nuking the old barn. But in the second episode, we didn't know that when the cliffs started crumbling underneath their hoofs and all that, when Nightmare Moon tried to almost take out the ponies in one fell sweep. I mean, I think what he's trying to bring up here is that Well, it's interesting to see how one episode, like, they have all these weaknesses. The writers kind of the writers exploited for the sake of the episode. That later on, like, oh, it's now possible for them to destroy a barn in one hit. Then again, this is a cartoon we're talking about here. I don't want to break it down too much, but what are your thoughts on that?
It's definitely. No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, like we said, it was a cartoon. That comes from it being episodic. Everything has to end at the very end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, I think that the writers do a pretty good job of keeping it realistic. I mean, well, realistic in the cartoon world, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think I've noticed a few things on the shop box, like Pinkie Pie's claiming that ponies are made of rubber, and Pinkie Pie is making the claim of ponies are made of dark matter. That would kind of explain a few of the ponies, like like dark. Well, for example, Rainbow Dash being able to destroy a barn, but Pinkie Pie, her and dark matter. I mean, she always seemed to me more like a rubber pony.
Because Pinkie Pie can kind of teleport, so it's more like whatever Schrodinger was talking about. Like,
Yeah,
you're always there and not there kind of molecules. I don't know what they are.
That's something we need to talk about.
What?
Pinkie Pie is the most powerful pony of all time.
Yeah.
There's nothing she can't do.
She has quantum physics on her side.
It makes you wonder how she gained those powers. Maybe she just bumped the wrong rock? Is she just that loony that she's extremely clever because of it?
Maybe she found a super powerful rock in her rock garden. Or whatever. What is it, rock farm?
At Rock
It was a
Farm.
rock farm.
Yeah. Which is basically, a quarry, right?
Well, I don't know. It seemed more like the rock were animals on their farm, and they had to migrate them from east to west and west to east every day.
Well,
I don't know. That
They didn't
family's
actually
crazy.
collect anything from them. They just moved them.
well, how do we know? I mean, we only saw it for a brief second there. I think you're right. I actually didn't see any growing of rocks. Just you're right. Moving from the left side to the right side.
Yeah. I feel kind of bad that they made her family. I mean, essentially they were Amish. It's like the poor Amish people. I mean, granted, none of them are going to be watching My Little Pony, but still.
I wonder what they would do if they ever saw that episode. What do you mean we're
think they'd be
bored?
into it much.
Collect running rocks is an important duty.
I'd never name my daughter Pinkie.
Yeah. That's the other thing you have to wonder. I mean, let's just put it out there. Where did Pinkie's pink come from? The rest of the family's all kind of dark and gray. It means it's just like a recessive gene if you want to get scientific here. Or was, she just, born that way?
Maybe they grew her.
Yes, that's where ponies come from. They come from rocks. They roll them enough, they eventually crack open, then boom, la pony.
Actually, I don't know. I can't remember who it was. Somebody posted a fanfic on the forums not too long ago about Pinkie Pie being a changeling. It was really interesting.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
It essentially describes why Pinkie Pie is who she is, because she has to feed off of love to live, and so she just becomes everyone's best friend.
That's really unique, and it would explain why she was pink, living like on a farm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the old people took her in and adopted her as their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. If I can find who it is, I'll post it later.
I mean, to take a look if you can. Pinkie Pie in the shop box makes a claim that she gets her pink from Granny Pie.
Well, Pinkie Pie, is Granny Pie a changeling?
Ooh, that's a good point. Is it... I wonder, the thing is, though, is it a good changeling? Is it a bad changeling? Is it kind of like an Avatar kind of deal where it's like, the plan was to first infiltrate, but it's like, oh, I now love these ponies. I can't do no wrong.
No, she was in the fanfic. She was a good changeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, speaking of the fan stuff, Derpy. We need to really talk about her for this episode, because this is the episode where she, came to be. I mean, I'll be honest, when I first saw the series, I knew of Derpy before I got into the Brony craze and all that. But I didn't notice Derpy right off the bat. I want to know who actually, not only coined the term, but also, well, saw the first Derpy. Like, who was the real quote-unquote father of our beloved mayor?
Someone on 4chan.
Yeah, I was going to say 4chan, the father of all internet memes.
I think it's really interesting how the Brony community latched on to Derpy. I mean, because, and then once she became canon for that little bit, I mean, they were so happy because it was like they were being not recognized, but the word escapes me now. But
Acknowledged?
it's like they were. I'm not going to think of the word. Brain freeze here. But we feel like the Brony community feels like since Derpy got acknowledged, that they kind of fulfilled their purpose, I guess. It just shows how powerful the community can be. I wrote an article for college about it, and I put it well down in there, but now I can't remember it all.
Really? You wrote actually a college paper on it?
It was for a TV criticism class, and it was on the Brony community in general. And I posted a blog on our class blog, and it went into every aspect of the community. And I mean, for R34, I only used kind of G-rated shipping. So I posted that, and I covered Derpy's kind of being met, and then us being, I covered Derpy for a little bit. It's hard to explain. I wrote it 2 semesters ago, I believe.
Well, fair enough. I noticed one comment on the shot box that someone asked from Frosted Bagels. Do you think Applejack is more loyal than Rainbow Dash in a way?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't switch them or make Applejack loyal and then kind of switch the whole things, because usually workhorse people are usually portrayed as a loyalty. Like in Animal Farm, you have the horse, the stallion. He is loyal to the pigs to a point where, I mean, he follows them blindly. But usually people go that route. So it's interesting to see that they made I was about to say Apple Dash. It's interesting that they made Rainbow Dash loyalty and Applejack honesty. I like it that way, though.
Yeah?
Mixes it up.
I mean, do you see Rainbow Dash being a representative pony of some other kind of element?
Pride.
Well, yeah.
It has to somehow deal. I mean, I wouldn't put pride in something you need for friendship. Like all the elements.
No,
friendship.
that was just.
Well, if you think about it,
pride does fit her.
Yeah, but think about it. That does make sense. Now she's so loyal to her friends because she's proud of them. She loves them. Shows pride in them. So I guess
true.
Pride is a kind of a loyalty is a thing of pride. Having pride in the people you love.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot to eventually trust them and give that trust back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as the honesty goes, I actually have always kind of felt it was a bit of a kind of a cop out to have the country girl be the honest one. I mean, that's how kind of I saw it. If anything, I would see her more as like the element of generosity, because if anything, Rarity's the most bluntest one out there.
Yeah. Banana Bag in the shout box brought up an interesting argument. She said that Applejack's always the first one to say something like, "Come on, we're leaving," or at the end whenever she's like, "Let's go check on the princess," and they just leave Twilight behind. I never thought about that, but as soon as that was mentioned, I thought back and I was like, you know what? I have heard that quite a few times.
Well, Applejack likes to get stuff done. So.
Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know, Applejack and Rainbow Dash are voiced by the same person.
Yep. And I would
Yeah.
Ashley Ball, actually. I would love to see her do actually one of her band's performances, because she's a part of Hey Ocean. I think actually is the lead singer, I believe. Yeah. Those crazy Canadian bands. Which I'm actually surprised they don't take more advantage of that. They have a singer, like a indie rock singer on the cast, and yet we have the pink one sing most of the songs.
Mm.
I think it's kind of
Has Applejack sang?
only in kind of bit parts during like the group songs. Like I know she sung in at the gala
Yeah.
Winter wrap up.
and to wrap up. Yeah,
And yeah,
Neither
she
her
doesn't sing
or
often.
Rainbow Dash sang, have they? Not
Yeah.
like full good pieces.
yeah. Well, Rainbow Dash has the pet song with Fluttershy.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good song, but I don't know. I don't think Rainbow Dash doesn't have any musical love. But even Rarity has 2 songs to herself.
And she's the element of generosity.
Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Like, if anything, Rarity should be the element of honesty and Applejack the element of generosity.
Yeah, I
find
can see that.
Like, they play with rarity and greed and generosity a lot. And so sometimes, I mean, it took me a while to actually think Rarity was generous. I mean, it seemed like they were trying to force it. But now that I'm accustomed to Rarity, I mean, I can see that she is generous.
Mm-hmm.
I like the elements where they are. I have to say that, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would probably move a couple of them around.
Yeah, Jose actually makes a good point there. Even Applejack's enemies, like Flim and Flam, got a full song. That's a very good point. I mean, AJ, yeah, how's that line go? She got every kind of song part, but not the main. To quote the last roundup.
And she hasn't had she doesn't get much episodes to herself either. Applejack's kind of overshadowed a lot of ways.
I know. She deserves like her own episode that's actually
Well,
follows
she
her.
did. The Applebuck season episode. That was all about her. Whenever she was going to try to get through Applebuck season by herself.
Yeah, that's like her one episode. Well, almost. I think there's 2, and then you have the Derpy episode, which everyone contributes to Derpy and not Applejack.
Yeah.
But it seems like the other ponies have maybe 3 or 4.
Oh, Alex here in the shop box here on friendshipismagic.org makes a claim that no one likes AJ. That is a lie. As
People here.
yes,
Bon likes AJ.
AJ is my favorite pony. That's actually all the co-hosts should know and should do the best they can to praise that the almighty element of honesty. That is AJ. So you watch
The only reason why I became a co-host is because my favorite pony is AJ.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's just why you're the only co-host, by the way. Most of our co-hosts love Fluttershy.
I'm Twilight fan myself.
Mm-hmm.
Twilight's a close second.
Well, we've been talking for a bit, so let's take a break now. Breaking off into song. You know what? Let's give some AJ love out here. Let's try to find some songs with Applejack. What do you guys think? Bernie songs or actual music? I think we can figure out. You know what? Scratch that. But go ahead.
Go ahead. I would say real music.
Real music?
Yeah.
Make me dig it
Wait.
up. All right.
Which is which? I'm saying real music as in fan-made.
Oh, as in fan made. Okay. All right. Can I say real music? I mean okay, the songs that were composed by good old Daniel or Brony music. But all right, that I can do, and thank you. Let's see. I know we have search for Applejack somewhere on here. I really need to organize this silly thing. Otherwise, until then, keep sending in stuff for us to talk about. It's not that we can't think of anything to talk about. We'll talk your ears off, but we would like to actually go with what you want to hear. But nevertheless, you are listening to DJ Smith and my co-hosts. Take it away, guys.
Keeper of Well.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't say anything. It's Rainbow Shadow.
Wait, are you trying to cause dead air, man?
I was waiting, but
I'm gonna get fired. I'll see you guys later.
No. Now you're staying on here. That way at least can keep torturing you.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I found the one song I have here right now, which is Apples Against the Mock, which I think is the closest Applejack song I have, Brony music-wise. After that, I'm going to go and play She's a Pony, because I thought that was an awesome song by Wooden Toaster.
That is an awesome song.
It is. I just realized yesterday that it was actually a rip-off of Pirates of the Caribbean, and I nerded out so much in the radio.
Wow. That was actually one of the first Pony remixes I ever listened to.
Really?
Yep.
Mine as well.
No, I actually didn't know that. I feel kind of really much ashamed because of it. I digress, though. So, yeah, we're going to start with Muggle Dash's Apples Against the March. We're going to follow up with She's a Pony. And I think to keep things interesting, let's pick one last song. Give us some more time. Ooh, let's go with All Levels at Once Winter Wrap-Up, because we talked about AJ's part in there as well. So that's a bit AJ-related.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, don't forget, radio's magic. DJ Smith, take it away, guys.
It's Rainbow Shadow.
And Keeper of Well.
Awesome. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere.
'Cause tomorrow's spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow's spring is here. Tomorrow's spring is here. No easy task to clear the ground. Planters tiny seeds with proper care and sunshine. Everyone feeds. I don't care, it's stalks. Cover flowers too. Just work so very hard. It's just so much to do. Let's finish our holiday. 'Cause tomorrow's spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow's spring is here. Now that I know what they all do, I have to find my place and help with all of my heart. Tough task ahead I face. How will I do without my magic? Help the earth pony way. I wanna belong, so I must do my best today. Do my best to. Let's finish our holiday. 'Cause tomorrow's spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow's spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow's spring is here.
And welcome back to Radio's Magic there. Hope you enjoyed those last three songs. I certainly did. The first one there was Apples Against the Mock, which I'm assuming is Apples Against the Machine by Mogul Dash, followed up by She's a Pony by Wooden Toaster, and wrapped it up with Winter Wrap-Up. Pun. With All Levels at Once. As always, here are my co-hosts. That's you guys. Start talking.
Keeper of Well.
There you go.
It's Rainbow Shadow.
Blossom, you gotta stop doing that to me.
You have to be ready. Get be on the ball there, man.
Blossom usually goes first.
Usually, well, I don't know. I just like messing with people.
Yeah, you can switch it up. But one thing we've been noticing in the shot box during the break is all the wonderful conversations about which pony represents who. Like we saw, what was it? Luna equals Alaska. Come on, paint it black. Really, Alaska's not a country. I mean, it's far away enough, but
Fluttershy equals Switzerland is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I would have to say, though, that Applejack does not represent America, and that actually Rainbow Dash is America. Because Rainbow Dash is the one who always rushes in and beats the people up, and then she realizes she's wrong and apologizes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes she won't even apologize. Yeah. Sounds pretty similar.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much it.
Yeah, if anything, Applejack is Canada, the one country that no one cares for.
Jeez, Granny, you're taking this hard, aren't you?
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned Rarity being from the Middle East.
Yeah, that was different. I would see her more as France myself.
Well, I want to see their reasoning, because the Middle East does have a lot of artistic stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of sullied by the media right now because of all that's going on. But
this is true. This is very true.
The obvious choice would be France, though.
Yeah, I have to say that fashion isn't the first thing that comes to mind when I think of the Middle East.
Yeah, true.
Now, Spike, at least I suggested it. I think you guys agreed with it only because I was the one that said it. But I see Spike being Italy only because his obsession with that suave mustache. I mean, if he actually could make it somewhere with the ladies, or in this case, Rarity, I would say France, but no, I see him being as the Italian guy that kind of fails at getting the gal. That's just me.
No, it's not just you. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
Oh, I know who Applejack is. And it totally goes out the fact with her obsession with cider, but Ireland. Come on, all the drinking.
That'd be a good one.
I suppose.
And they both have a distinct accent, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not the same accent, but.
Everybody has an accent.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. I have a normal accent. I have an American accent.
America.
How
many non-American co-hosts do we have?
Actually, there-
Sneaky is.
Oh, there's a few actually who are foreign. At least by our standards. I know Pinkie Pie is from, I believe. I'm sorry if I'm going to get this wrong. You can correct me tomorrow, Pinks. But from Lithuania, we have one Scottish DJ, Malamane, and yeah, Sneaky Spriggs is, I believe, from Northern England. I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
You can correct me about that later. Other than that, yeah, there's actually a lot of foreign people on our staff too. Like Crackle, I know he sounds from, I believe, around the Hungarian area. Zamarine, Zamarine, I can't.
Zamarian.
Zam. Let's call him Zam.
Zam.
Yeah, Zammy is from Holland, and
Oh, I think you just got Pinkie Pie wrong.
Pinkie Pie wrong. Oh, she's correct me. No, wait, was that new? Sorry, Pinks. You have to correct me tomorrow. Anyway, we have 5 minutes left here by my clock. Thank you for that threat there, Grant. For those who can't see the shop box, Pinkie Pie is threatening to cut me. I'm assuming to cut me a piece of cake. Family show. I'm sorry, I'm laughing too hard for those out there who can't see what we're looking at, but Pinks also threw up the Pinkamania emoticon, which kind of shows how unhappy and unpleased the Pinks is. But we have 5 minutes left of the show. Final thoughts about the episode and the show in general. Take us away here first, Keeper.
Final thoughts on the episode and show in general. The first 2 episodes are good. I don't think you can fully appreciate them until you've actually become a fan of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And the show altogether, I mean, it's amazing. That's why we're all here, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, and if you had to rate it, let's say at like 1 out of 5 Zap apples, how many apples would you give it?
The first 2 episodes?
Yeah.
I will give the first episode a 3 Zap apples, and the second episode 4 Zap apples, and both of them together 3 Zap apples.
Okay.
So,
Rainbow Shadow?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Keeper. I would give the first one 3, second one 4. I think they were very contrived, but I believe that they served their purposes. If I ever do try to introduce anyone else to My Little Pony, I will not be showing them the first 2 episodes. But I absolutely agree that once you've seen the whole series, going back and watching the first 2 episodes again is much better.
Yeah. At least it certainly appreciated more. And I would have to say, I would give the first episode 4 Zap apples, and I would give the second one actually 5 if it did not have Magnet, that annoying serpent. But overall, I would give it both of them like 4 apples because I'm generous and I actually really like the pilot. I mean, it
made you cry. What can you say?
I know. It made my heart bleed joy and awesomeness. Other than that, I've actually been kind of happy with the show today. What do you guys think? Can it get any better than this? I
can't wait.
Yeah. Well, next week,
Radio with Magic looks forward to good things.
Amen.
It's just
Amen.
going to grow, I bet.
Yep. Next week, though, that's one thing last thing we should talk about. What should the next episode be that we break down?
We can just go through the series episode by episode.
I was thinking we were going to go in order, but
we gotta remember, we don't really know how long the show is really going to last. So I think we should just go and pick ones at random. Why go in order? Because my hope is that once we do get to when the season starts back up, to start talking about the latest episodes.
Good point.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So,
well,
right.
I mean, we have 2 opinions. We could focus on the Mary-Do-Well one because we kind of talked about that a little bit, and that episode just has so much to talk about. Or we could. Well, I'm not going to be here. I'll be in Ohio. But y'all could talk about some of the ones with songs in them. Because we only had deals with the ghosties, so...
Yeah, I'm seeing 2 votes for Party of 1, so let's do that one.
2 votes for Lesson 0, too.
Yeah, that one there too. So
Lesson Zero was fantastically disturbing.
yeah.
And those are two good ones to do together. Both main characters go a bit crazy.
So let's do that then. Let's talk about Party of One and Lesson Zero. I mean, yeah. Let's talk about the Too Crazy Going Bananas episodes. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, okay, we'll do that. So, with that, we have to say goodbye. Thanks for listening in. We're now hitting, unfortunately, the end of the show. At least sad. But tune in tomorrow for the Magicks, where myself, Pinkie Pie, and a few other awesome co-hosts, which I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, that's right. Santiago and Frostbite will be talking about Wooden Toaster's music, as well as actually interviewing the user Vegeta about his new podcast he's thinking about putting together. So yeah, tune in to that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the same radio stream, this one. Otherwise, if you want to stay online to listen to the Brony stream shuffle through our tracks, hopefully this time around no one will come in and change it on me. Don't they realize that this is my radio station now? God. I should have to share my university's radio station. The nerve of them.
Travesty.
I know. All right. So, with that, take care, stay awesome, stay friendly, stay tolerant, and all that jazz. We'll see you all next week. Say
Have
goodbye,
a good night,
guys.
every pony.
Farewell.
Stay awesome.